Free picks coming up in just a moment on 3 games for your Wednesday night card. Going to take a look at your late Mountain West contest between New Mexico and San Diego State. Aztecs playing at home, coming off a 2-point loss at UNLV on Saturday. Can they beat New Mexico for the second straight time in a series they have dominated of late, especially at home? Also going to take a peek at your Atlantic 10 game between Temple, winners of 8 in a row, at St. Bonaventure. St. Bonaventure team that has been pretty much unbeatable here in the past 8 weeks at home. And also going to take a look at one of your early games in college basketball action in the SEC between Tennessee and Arkansas. And of course, we're going to talk about who's hot and who's not. And I've got a money-saving discount coupon that could save you hundreds of dollars off your total purchase tonight. Hi, everyone. Al DeMarco here. This, of course, is going to be your Wednesday video report. Now, before I go any further, FYI, let me just tell you, I have again tonight my biggest college basketball play of the season. The catch is, however, it's the first game on your docket, and it's an early tip-off. It goes at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and it is going to be my Big Ten line error lock of the year, part number 2 on your game between Indiana and Northwestern. Now, I just hit part number 1. You may recall on Sunday, Michigan against Illinois. Michigan in that particular contest was a 5 to 5.5 point favorite. I told you the Wolverines would win that game by 9. Your final score, Michigan 70, Illinois 61. The Wolverines win it exactly by 9 points. Well, tonight, part number 2, it's Indiana and Northwestern. The Hoosiers in this contest laying 8.5 points in this game. The question you have to answer in this particular game, you have an Indiana team coming off 2 straight double-digit wins, including Illinois last Sunday at home in a rout, and in the prior game, beating up Purdue on the road. Of course, Indiana, with those 2 straight double-digit wins, very impressive. But the Hoosiers prior to that had lost 5 of 7 games. And of course, shall we say, the question involving the Hoosiers here, is this the team that has won 3 straight double-digit games at home? The team that upset Ohio State and Kentucky at home? Or the Hoosiers team that managed to lose as a double-digit favorite at home a few weeks ago, and I know it because I had them that night against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. And then, of course, you have a Northwestern team that just lost by double digits at Purdue, snapping a 3-game winning streak, but a team that has absolutely owned this series, winning 3 straight and 6 of its last 7 games. And you have a big, big number in this contest. Do you lay it? Or do you grab the points with the Wildcats? Listen, guys, I am 9-3 with these 15-dime releases so far this season in college basketball. And this match is my biggest college basketball play of the season. And as I always say, a 15-dime play may not sound big when we're talking about 100-dime plays from this one, 50 and 75-dime plays from that one. But again, 99% of my plays are rated between 5 and 15 dimes, so this is right there at the upper echelon of the rating scales as far as I am personally concerned, and it is every bit as big as my play with Michigan over Illinois this past Sunday. And I am 35-22 with these 15-dime releases in football and basketball combined, college and pro, dating back to the start of the NFL preseason last August. So that's what I've got going, but again, it does go at 6:30 Eastern Time. Another red-hot handicapper, Anthony Red. My goodness, he did it again last night. Another 50-dime winner. The Sacramento Kings covering at Chicago, 9-2 run with these 50-dime plays. Tonight, 50-dime winners numbers 10, 11, and 12 out of 14. Arkansas, Tennessee, Purdue, Illinois, and in the NBA, the Hawks and the Suns. He is 28-12 over the past 28 days. Good for 400 dimes of net profit, which means a $10 player has won $4,000 in that 4-week period. And in that stretch, he has also gone 11-2 with 25-dime plays, including the Bobcats covering against the 76ers on Monday night. And tonight, these plays are twice as strong as those. So you might want to check out Anthony Red. And remember, this is another one of those trifectas. And with these trifectas, 169, 130, and 5 with the last 103 trifectas Anthony has released. Dom Chambers, another hot handicapper, looking for winning day number 5 in a row. Over the last 99 days, $10 players have won $5,190. Following Dom's advice, 40-dime winner number 16 out of 27 tonight, going on New Mexico and San Diego State. Bob Valentino, not an everyday handicapper, pops in and out when he has a play that he likes. 30-dime college winner number 7 out of 8 going tonight. Blowout of the month for him. Chuck O'Brien, winning day number 19 out of 18. 30-dime college basketball winner number 18 out of 22. 18 out of 22. Missouri State and Wichita State going for him. Now, let's talk about Scott Delaney because I talked about him yesterday. He was going for his third straight 100-dime winner since this past Friday. It was his Horizon Lake Dog of the Year, Cleveland State, getting a point. And I think they lost by 2 last night. Did not get there for Scott Delaney. Again, always tell you the good and the bad. Hey, before I go any further, have you guys seen the Joe Namath profile special on HBO that's been running the past couple of weeks? Listen, we can talk about gambling in a minute here and everything else. Have you seen that show? I was too young to watch Namath in '69, unless I'm watching it in my crib. I was too young to really, understand Joe Namath, but I did grow up like a pseudo-Jets fan because long before there was Madden, guys, long before there was video games, when I was a kid, and probably for a lot of you too. Remember the vibrating electric football games? You used to put the players down and they had the little brushes underneath their platforms on their feet, and you turn on the little electric vibrating field, and that's how you used to play electric football. Well, my first game was a Jets one. Had the Jets was one of the 2 teams, so I grew up a quote-unquote Jets fan. I only knew like 3 or 4 players, but Joe Namath was the quarterback. So, and of course he was past his prime at this stage, but fascinating documentary about Joe Namath. And in watching the show, I thought about this again. And, I've thought about this for many, many years. I always thought about this, but when you think about it, the 2 greatest innovations in sports have to be arthroscopic surgery and ligament replacement surgery. Think about all the great careers that could have been extended or salvaged over the decades if those 2 procedures had been developed 20, 30, 40 years earlier. I mean, look at Namath. Look at the career he could have had if he didn't, back in those days, used to have to literally, I don't want to be gross here, but, literally slice open your whole knee to find out what was wrong. And then they had to put you in a hip to ankle to full body cast after having what nowadays they would put a little arthroscope, do a slice of your knee about, that long and about that thick in order to find out what the hell was wrong with the knee and then do the surgery through that little slice in your knee. I mean, amazing. Namath, Bobby Orr, Mickey Mantle, Gale Sayers, Tony Oliva, who was a hell of a hitter. I don't remember. I mean, I didn't see him in his prime. I only know where I read on his baseball card, But when you think about all the incredible sports for Sandy Koufax with that arthritic elbow, who knows how much longer he could have pitched if there was arthroscopic procedures back then. But, I mean, seriously, now you see a guy gets a torn ACL, and in 9 to 12 months, he's back playing. You see a baseball pitcher, he has Tommy John surgery, and he comes back 12 months later, and he's throwing 3 to 4 miles harder than he was prior to the surgery. I mean, it's just incredible. So you think about all the great athletes over the years that could have had their career saved with those type of surgeries. And that's what I was thinking watching Namath. But, man, I'll tell you, when you watch that video of Namath, jeez, my God. Got to meet him, after he retired. I was at something and I got some autographed Namath footballs. Collector's items. I'm not a big memorabilia fan in that regards. I have like 38,000 football and basketball and baseball cards in my collection, and that was stopping collecting like after 89, 90. But got some autographed Joe Namath footballs and stuff, authenticated as well. Got to meet him and stuff, and interesting guy, but what a beautiful ball he used to throw. And they talk about Marino, but what a beautiful ball. Anyway, moving on. Your money saving discount coupon code is going to be, how about this one? Surgery 11. Surgery 11. SUR, right? Surgery 11. I mean, it's a different one, but what the hell? Surgery 11, SUR. Gery 11, Surgery 11, Surgery 11. Put it all together, and that will save you 11% off your total purchase price. 11% off your total purchase price. And remember, guys, you can mix and match with this type of coupon, but the key is you have to put everything in your shopping cart at one time. So let's say you want to buy my play tonight, right? You save 11% off the purchase price of my play. But let's say you want to buy Anthony Redd's long-term package. What is the guy? What did I just tell you earlier? If you had followed him the past 4 weeks, you would have made $4,000, okay? And you got that little thing called the Big Dance coming up. So let's say you want to make a long-term commitment to Anthony Redd. You wanted to buy 60 days of a service. It costs $649. You could save 11% off that total purchase price as well. So you could save, 65, 66, 67, let's round it off, 120, almost $130 off of Anthony Redd's 60-day purchase price. I'm sorry, Jesus Christ. It shows you where my mind is today. You'd save almost $70 off of Anthony Redd's total purchase price for a 60-day package. You'd save like, a couple of dollars off of my purchase. You can mix and match. You could throw the insider money moves in there. Whatever you want, you put it in, but you have to buy it all together. You can't come in and buy Anthony Redd's package and then say later, oh, let me come in and buy Bob Valentino's. Has to be all at one particular time. Then you put the coupon code in, Surgery 11, then you save 11% off your total purchase. So use it, save some money. It's on me. Okay, let's get to your free picks. Last one first, San Diego State. Really surprises me that they are a 1-point underdog against New Mexico. Let's go back in time when these two met in the first go-round in Albuquerque back on January 18th. A game that New Mexico was a big home favorite in that one. A game that San Diego State won 75-70. A game in which New Mexico jumped out to a 10-0 lead at the Pit. A really cool place to watch a college basketball game. And downtown Albuquerque is really a cool place too. All lit up with neon. It ain't Vegas, but it is a cool, cool city, guys. I got to tell you anyway. New Mexico jumps out to a 10-0 lead. They're up by 1 point at halftime, and San Diego State came back and won the damn game in that contest, even though they did not shoot particularly great in that game, even though New Mexico was deadly in that game from three-point land. San Diego State won the game. Now, San Diego State's coming off a 65-63 loss at UNLV on Saturday, a game in which they committed 17 turnovers, shot just 6 for 11 from free throw territory, out-rebounded on the offensive glass by 6, on fast break points, UNLV dominated 16-2. Here's the deal. Do you know it has been 140 games since San Diego State has followed up a road loss with a home loss? Do you know it has been 79 straight games, the 5th longest streak in the nation, since this San Diego State team has lost back-to-back games? I know that New Mexico has a much deeper rotation, goes 10 deep, and that certainly helps late in the season. I just can't fathom Steve Fisher's team, even though they've been in a little bit of an offensive slump here at late, losing this game at home. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, somewhere in the mid-60s. I think San Diego State's going to squeak this one out. New Mexico has lost 2 conference games this year to San Diego State and UNLV, who they play next in Albuquerque this weekend. I think San Diego State wins this game, breaks the logjam between UNLV, the Lobos, and the Aztecs at the top of the Mountain West Conference. I like them tonight. I would never put my money on it, though. It's just like yesterday's free pick between George Mason and UNLV. Virtual pick'em game, it was decided by 1 point. I think this game is much the same. So I wanted to give you my opinion on it, however. Here's one I really do like, however. Tennessee minus the 7.5 at home against Arkansas. You know, this Tennessee team has been dynamite at home. Their last 4 home games, they've beaten up South Carolina by 12, Georgia by 11, Auburn by 15, beat UConn, upset them, beat them by 3. 9-1 in their last 10 home games. The only loss to Kentucky by 3, and that was a game they were leading late in the contest, okay? Meanwhile, Arkansas on the SEC highway, 0-5 on the conference road. They lost by 8 to Mississippi State, 23 to Kentucky, 6 at Alabama, 6 at LSU, 22 to Georgia. I mean, has anything I've said to you led you to believe that the Razorbacks have suddenly decided they're going to play great in Knoxville tonight? They're 0-8 straight up in the true road games this season, 1-7 against the spread. Tennessee's beaten Florida at home. They gave Kentucky everything they can handle. They've won 3 straight overall. I'll lay the 7.5 points with them in this one. Final game, Temple cheap price. Maybe it's a trap. -2 at St. Bonaventure. Listen, you've got St. Bonaventure, which has played some great ball at home so far this season. You know, they've won 6 straight at home, 8 of their last 9. The only home loss in that stretch was a 2-point loss to North Carolina State about a month and a half ago. Andrew Nicholson, their big man, coming off a monster 21-point, 23-rebound game against Duquesne on Saturday. But, you know, Temple's big guy, Michael Eric, not much of a scorer, but he's big and bulky. Their center's come back from a knee injury that sidelined him early in the season. He's 6'11". He'll dominate in space down low. Temple's a backcourt-oriented team. 3 excellent guards. St. Bonaventure has no backcourt stars. Their talent is limited in the backcourt, okay? Temple's the better team. Temple beat up Xavier at home on Saturday. And prior game, if you recall, last Thursday, they were a big 13-point home favorite against George Washington. And they played awful ball for 3/4 of that game before rallying late for a 79-72 win. Didn't come close to cover, but that was a wake-up call against the Colonials. I think they take care of business in this contest. Remember, even though St. Bonaventure has played so well at home, this is still a team that its 2 prior games, admittedly, on the road, went to UMass, lost that game by 9, went to St. Louis, lost that game by 24 points. Just because you win at home doesn't make you necessarily a good team, and when you think about teams that own big home court advantages, this isn't Cameron Indoor. This isn't Tobacco Road and Chapel Hill, okay? This is New York. This is St. Bonaventure. Not exactly a tough place to play. FYI, quick story here about St. Bonaventure, and a related St. Bonaventure story. One of my first years covering the NBA, okay, as a reporter, go in the locker room, Detroit Pistons, Bob Lanier. You may, if you're old enough, you may remember those funny Miller Lite commercials. Bob Lanier, you know, his sneakers are in the NBA. Size 22. So I go into the locker room and I see the Pistons and I see Bob Lanier and he's stretched out. His feet are up on the bench. Size 22. I'm like blown away. You don't know how big size 22 sneakers are until you see a man sitting there who's 6'11" with his legs outstretched with size 22 sneakers, and I'm wearing size 11, and I'm going, size 22? How the hell do you lug size 22 feet up and down the court when you're 6'11"? And he's pretty agile at this point. You know, the knee injuries hadn't really robbed him of his mobility at this stage. And I'm going, size 22 sneakers, that's pretty effing big when you go running up and down the floor. But anyway, that's my Bob Lanier story for today. But they are bronzed, and they are in the NBA Hall of Fame, by the way, if you ever happen to get there. Size 22, big sneakers. Anyway, good luck, guys, and I'll talk to you again. Remember, Surgery 11. That's your NBA. It's your NBA. That's your. That'll save you 11% off. Size 22 sneaker. That's amazing. Anyway, that's your money-saving coupon today. That'll save you 11% off your total purchase price. Catch you later, guys.